Hi everybody. I'm going to be doing a little flea market finds yard sale type of video today, and should be short. Don't have a ton of stuff to go through, um, so this will just be to wet your whistle, so to speak, uh, because I'll probably within the next couple weeks I'll post a series, and I'll be showcasing the items that I picked up at this year's Quabog Valley Engineer Association's Spring Tractor Show and Swap Meet. Uh, I got some items that are interest. I got some really good deals on some items, but they're not items I can really readily use. But the prices I got them for, I just couldn't resist snapping them up and maybe trying to flip them on eBay or something like that. So, but enough about that. Let's get to this stuff. This is just some stuff I had. Some of this stuff actually goes back several weeks. There's even a little pile here that I think is 2 months old that I completely forgot to. I think I completely forgot about them and had them set off to the side, and I was just trying to clean up around here and said, "Oh, I gotta get this stuff out of here." So let's dive right in. So this first little pile of items, I'll have to actually apologize in advance if I already showed these and totally forgot about it, but I don't think I did. And what this is this is a little pile of stuff. A few weeks ago, one of my favorite vendors at the local flea market, who's always very cheap with his stuff, he had a Kennedy toolbox, and it was a small Kennedy toolbox, machinist toolbox, and it was in okay condition. And I remember talking about the toolbox because I know a couple of my viewers had commented about that I was nuts not to buy the toolbox for as little as I could have got it for. I think I could have got it for like 20 or 25 bucks. But I decided to pass on it just because I've got extra Kennedys now, so it would just be something I'd have to resell, and I haven't even gotten around to reselling the spares I have now. I think I sold one of my spares, and I just cleaned out another one because I bought it for the goodies that were in it, not the box. So, anyways, I went through the drawers of the box. It was pretty much cleaned out, and there was a quite a different grouping of different stuff in there. It wasn't all machinist items. I think over the years it had maybe changed owners, and somebody had left some of the machinist items in there and then just kept throwing other stuff in there. Not quite sure what the story was there. But I picked through it and picked out everything that I thought I could use, knowing full well that I would end up getting these items for probably, a total of just a few dollars. I can't even remember what I got these for, but I can guarantee you that these were probably an add-on to something else that I really wanted that I ended up paying probably like $5 for. Or I got these just for, maybe like $3, something crazy low. So we get a little container of carbaloy inserts here. None of these numbers make any sense to me. The closest thing I can see is 1203 AFTN, P25C, T25M. I see the AFTN. That's Alpha, Foxtrot, Tango, November. So I'm assuming that's the nomenclature, the type of insert. And upon further inspection, it turns out there's actually 3 that match in here. Those are probably the original ones for the box, and then this gold one got thrown in there. This might even be a used insert. And it looks like this has 4 cutting edges on it, so no markings on that last one there, the gold one, so who knows. No markings on the gray ones either. For all I know, none of these might be the ones that belong in there. And then we've got in here, okay, these are marked on the side. M20 Alpha 702783s. Oh, wait, well, hold on the end here. Maybe this will tell us something. Here we go. These are marked UT120T. S as in Sierra, P as in Papa, M as in Mike, N as in November. SPM N422. So that's going to probably be the nomenclature to figure out what those are. These also look like four-sided carbide inserts. Clearly, this one here is a used one. Got one corner completely busted. Boy, that one's really rough. This one's marked SPG 422. That insert's toast. These are Mitsubishi carbide. All right, so that'll go in the miscellaneous unknown carbide draws for now. This is a 5/16 inch high-speed steel reamer, and it's marked E and D. So, not ringing a bell right now, but I'm sure that's probably something that one of you guys would probably know right off the bat just from E and D, who makes this one. But it's got some surface rust on it, but I looked at it under magnification and the flutes look really good, so it should clean up and be a usable reamer, 5/16 inch reamer. This, when I first picked it up, I thought it was a center drill. It's actually a very small 2-flute end mill, and it's not broken. This, I don't know what to make of this. I can't find any markings on it. Just wanted to confirm that I did not find any markings on it. So on the back here, it's got the oxide coating, black oxide or whatever, on the back. So that would indicate to me that this wasn't cut off, that this is the actual size of the original size of the shank, as far as the length of the shank. Because my first thought was this a twist drill that had been reground for a bull nose like this? Or did this start its life as an actual, some sort of a strange bull nose cutter? Trying to give you a better look at this thing. I'll tell you, if it was you know what? Well, okay, here's the giveaway here. I find it hard to believe that somebody would regrind a twist drill down to make this cutter and then go through the trouble of recoating it. You'll notice there's the coating on this end right here where it would have been ground to this shape. The coating is there. So the coating was applied after this was ground to this size. Got some surface rust on here. So what would this do? Well, I mean, because of the nature of it, it's 2-flute and the way that the webs meet each other there, or the flutes, I'm not, well, I guess, are those really webs if it's not a drill bit? Okay. So you could, I guess, plunge with this and then route out a pocket with a round bottom to it. But I'm not sure why you would want to do that. The other question is this a woodworking bit? Could this have absolutely nothing to do with, just because it was in a machinist tool chest, you know? Maybe this is actually a routing bit, and that's supposed to be used in a router. Although that also seems strange to me, because if it's a routing bit, why is it so long? I mean, it's really deep. So if you wanted a rounded bottom slot, you could cut it, certainly in wood. I'm sure this would work. But I mean, could this thing really make a pocket in metal? You know, that's a noob question for you guys who are in the know. Maybe you could tell me. You ever seen a cutter like this? I've seen end mills modified ground like this, but I've never seen one just like this. But that doesn't mean anything. A couple of these stamped steel T-slot cleaners for your mill. These go down and clean out the chips out of the slot of your mill. And I've got 1 or 2 of these already, but I figured why leave those there to go to waste? It's probably the kind of thing that it's just handy to have one hanging around, even though I only have 1 mill. This one here is completely unmarked. And this one here is actually, somebody took the time to stamp their name in it. And the gentleman's name is Frank. And Frank, I guess Frank didn't want people to keep grabbing his T-slot cleaner off of his mill and putting it on their table and forgetting to give it back. So Frank marked it. The last item was in this box. Let me show you what this box says. This box says it's for a Sears Craftsman high-speed steel 1/2-inch dovetail bit. Okay, so this is a woodworking bit. So this box, the presence of this box in that tool box,
might be an indication that, okay, so somebody who owned this box at some point was also into woodworking. So again, is this a woodworking bit? But what was in this box kind of flummoxed me. I actually didn't even take it out when I bought this stuff. I just kind of, oh, all right, threw it. What was in there was this. Matter of fact, this was jammed in there so tight, I had trouble getting it out, which is why I took it out ahead of time. But I just wanted to show you, clearly, whatever this is, somebody stored it in this box, and it's clearly not a 1/2-inch dovetail bit. So what is this? What is this indeed? It really has me curious. It's got a really nice finish on it, and all it is it's a little piece of round stock that is apparently maybe even precision ground to an exact dimension of 1/2 inch. Furthermore, it's been milled on this end and looks like also maybe ground. Half the diameter has been removed very precisely. This does not appear to be any type of cutter. There is a sharp edge on there, but I really don't think this was made to just go in there and be, why would you want to have something like this cutting? So what the heck is this? I still don't know. This is a 1/2 inch by, it's a 1/2 inch diameter, and then this is exactly 1/4 inch. So I actually have an idea what I'm going to do with this, and I'll save that little surprise for an upcoming video I'm going to do, and we'll see whether or not you guys think it's a great idea that I came up with for the use of this thing. And in the meantime, maybe you guys can chime in and say, oh, that's a Knibbling pin, grade 12, or, something like that, and tell me exactly what it is. Speaking of telling me exactly what it is, I'm going to just take a moment to pause on the new stuff and revisit something that came up in one of my previous videos, and I basically showed in detail this device that I had picked up at an estate sale for dirt cheap because I had absolutely no idea what it was, and neither did the seller. And I just decided I wanted to take a chance on it, so I pulled it in with a bunch of other stuff. So I personally don't think I have much money tied up in this. That doesn't mean it's not valuable to the right person. So I asked everybody to post in the comments of that video what their guesses were, and I did get several guesses, which isn't bad considering I don't have anywhere near the amount of subscribers or commenters as a lot of the big guys, the YouTube provider celebrities out there like Keith Rucker or Mr. Pete. So I'll just go over a few things with you real quick. So I originally showed this in my April 2017 estate sale part 8. I showed this near the end of the video. So those of you who actually still want to submit a guess before I give away the answer, you can go check that video out, and feel free to add a comment there, and then you can come back here, finish watching this video, and see exactly what this thing is. So I just want to talk about the comments here. So I got 1 thumbs down on this video, 9 thumbs up, and there's only 152 views. Which begs the question, why do I bother with these? Well, the reason why I bother with these is because there are actually a few people that I know have mentioned to me that they actually enjoy these videos. And I'm probably going to start featuring less and less of these, or at least trying to condense them more or something, because I'm putting a lot of time and effort into these videos, and this isn't where I'm getting my most bang for my buck. Right now I could be out there probably, well, it looks like rain today, but, all I need to do is head out there and work on the Tower of Power outboard, or maybe start picking up work again on one of the tractors or something like that, and my viewership would definitely increase quickly. Enough. See, now I'm making this video longer than it needs to be already. So I got a whole 4 comments on here, and they were all guesses. So, last guess was 4 days ago. So the first guess, John Strange chimed in, and he said, after looking around, I think it could be part of a screw-cutting, thread-chasing attachment, but I don't know. Excavate Boy chimed in 6 days ago, thinking maybe a chamfering tool when cutting a lot of pieces off. It'd be fast just to swing it up, hit the edge. Maybe a post was mounted mounted to the carriage. And Patrick, I can't say this last name, Einerson, I think. I apologize in advance if I said that wrong. If you happen to be watching this video, looks like a cutoff attachment to a pipe threading machine. So I see what he's saying there. You know, one of those big old, like rigid pipe cutting machines that you see in, you know, in the plumbing places to thread pipe for steam fittings and stuff like that. And last is a Mark V says chucker lathe cutoff attachment. It goes on the back side of the head. Okay, so it is not a cutoff attachment, and it is not, you know, actually I thought there was another comment here. Could have sworn I got another comment. Yeah, I know I got another comment here. I wonder why that's not showing up. I'm on my mobile, YouTube mobile app, and sometimes it doesn't show. I think somebody had guessed that they thought it was a ball turning attachment, or that it could be turned into a ball turning attachment. It's funny, they said ball turning attachment because that's what I was thinking. But then when I thought about it, the more I thought about it, the more I realized, the geometry is all wrong for a ball turning attachment. Most ball turning attachments tend to be almost like a C or a half circle shaped device, and the cutter would be here and the cutter would swing around. That's not going to happen because of the way this is, unless, well, I mean, yeah, no, it's not going to work. So, but I understand why somebody would think that. Cutoff attachment, cutoff tools oftentimes are used on the back side of the lathe, so that as the lathe is rotating, the cutoff tool is actually used on the back side and turned upside down. So I can understand why somebody might think it was something like that. The problem is, if this thing's mounted on the back side, okay, same thing with that, whatever that other guess was that somebody had said. So John Strange got it right. He guessed that it was an attachment, a thread chasing attachment. And right after I posted this video, the part 8, I actually shot off a couple of photos. I posted a couple of photos of this on the Practical Machinists forum under the Antique Equipment and Machinery. And there are a couple of really, there are a couple of guys on there that really are spot on and know their stuff. So let me tell you what they said. All right, so here we are on the Practical Machinist forums through Tap Talk, the app on my phone, and the first guess was, can't tell you exactly what it came off of, but it looks like it was possibly for a turret lathe mounted to the backside of the cross slide to part, cut, a groove, etc. That's very similar to one of the guesses we received in the comments section. But the very next comment reply is from a gentleman who goes by the screen name Limey Sammy. Limysami. And he says, my guess is it's part of a chase screw cutting attachment for a cataract precision type bench lathe like this. And he gives a link to a great website, lathes.co.uk. For those of you who haven't been there, there's a gentleman named Tony who's got a wealth of information on lathe history. There's some really good stuff in there. Anyways, and then somebody agrees, and they post let's see, this is Larry Vanice, Vanice, if I'm getting that wrong, I apologize. Anyways, Larry agrees, and he even posted some photos. I don't know how well these are going to come up here, but this is what the whole attachment looks like, and there's the device that I've got right there. So I'm missing this whole other part. So there's the whole attachment. There's the piece that I've got right there. That's a really good shot. You can see that's almost a dead ringer for what I've got sitting here. The next post is Alan chimes in, and he says he believes it's a Rivet 606. And then somebody else did a little research and said that they definitely agree. They think he hit the nail on the head. And they posted link directly to a Rivet 606 on the Lathes UK website. And if you scroll down and get down far enough, you can actually get a picture of that attachment on the lathe. So here we go. There's the device that I have right there. And I'm guessing this is this is the back side. You can see the compound right there. This is the back side, a photo from the back side of a Rivet 606 lathe and the thread chasing attachment installed. So I did a little bit of research, and unfortunately a Rivet 606 is not a very common lathe apparently, and 608 is far more common. And so this thing's only going to be good really to either A, somebody who's going to repurpose it and do something completely different with it, which I guess I could maybe do that, or if somebody's got a Rivet 606 lathe, then they could probably use it. And oddly enough, somebody who saw that post in Practical Machinist private messaged me and made me an offer. So I got an offer of $40 plus he'd pay the shipping for this thing. He basically says he's got a Rivet 606 lathe bed with nothing else, so it would be the start of completing it. So he's thinking, I guess, very ambitiously that, you know, he'll start picking up pieces here and there as he comes across them and eventually complete this thing. So I actually probably should jump on this offer. Other attachments like this, when they do come up for sale, they tend to bring more money than that. But then again, you know, it's just one of those items that it's going to be a hard sell. So I'm kind of torn between, and some of you guys might be thinking, what are you, nuts? Just sell the thing. Cost you next to nothing. So I'm kind of torn between whether or not I want to take his $40 or roll the dice, throw it up on eBay, and put it up, you know, list it for more money or best offer and see if I get any offers on it. But the problem is, because it's such a rare item, I get a feeling that I have to have it up there for quite a while before I even got anybody who found it or came across it and thought, hey, I'm going to make an offer on this thing. So the way it stands right now is I think I scared him off because I asked him if he could do $60 plus shipping. So I was trying to get another $20 out of it, and I think I got a little too greedy. And he stopped replying, so he's probably not interested. Which is fine. You know, I wouldn't be the first guy to probably eventually drop dead and leave behind a shop full of goodies that should have been sold 5 times over for the offers that I was given. But that's another subject.